Okay, so here we have a second question on June 2019 paper 2H. So it's the second paper in the higher GCSE, June 2019, and it's asking for drawing a graph, basically. So there's two ways you can do it. You can work out the gradient and then where it travels through the y-axis. So if I wanted to do that way, I'd look at, it's a gradient of 2. It's in the format already of y equals mx plus c. So you don't have to rearrange it or anything. So it's already in that format. So the gradient is the m is the 2. So you know as it goes 1 across the x-axis, 1 across here, it goes 2 up on the y. Be careful of this because there's 2 squares for 1 on the x, but only 1 on the y. So that's a scale thing to look out for. And then it goes through the y-axis, sorry, at -3, and that's because that's the constant term here. This constant term. Sorry, I meant to put a c there. Mx plus c, constant. All right, so it goes through at -3, so we know that's 1 point. And then it's got a gradient of 2, so every 1 across, it goes 2 up, 1, 2. So it looks like it's 1, but it's actually not. It's because this scale is a bit awkward. And then 1 across the x-axis, and then 1, 2. 1 across, 1, 2. You'll notice a straight line here. And then grab the ruler. Oops. It's very sensitive, sorry. Okay, grab the ruler, draw through. So this is a question 2 in the high paper. It's probably a grade 4 on this one, roughly. It's nice to know sometimes what they're grading. Or what you could have done is you could have plotted it. So if we know an x value and a y value, so I've got x, I'll just use, you only really need a couple of points to be honest. So -1, if we just do x is -1, 0, 1, 2. You can then substitute in the x here. So 2 times -1 is -2, -3, so that will give us -5. And that gives us our first plot. 0, 2 times 0 is 0, -3, so y would equal -3. Again, you might notice something with this. 2 times 1 is 2, -3, -1. And then 2 times 2 is 4, -3, so that's just 1. You'll notice there's a pattern here, and that's the increase is going up 2, and that's because the gradient is 2. As it goes up 1, if the x is going up in 1s, that's what I did, I chose to do that. The gradient, or the amount that the y goes up, is in 2, and that's linked to this 2 here. Okay, so it's a little bit of information for you, and then you just plot them. And so obviously I've already done this, but -1, 5 will be down here. 0, -3, we'd already done that one anyway. 1, -1, etc., etc. It's a straight line. You only really need a couple of points, but that shows clear guidance. And again, be really careful of these scales. They tend to do that a lot, where they've got a different scale on the x-axis to the y, which jumps out. I mean, it could be the either way around. The y could be wider gaps of the x. Okay, so that's plotting a linear graph. Thank you very much.